Hi, this is the lesson number 16, and in this lesson we are going to discuss about Troilus and Cressade. In the previous lesson we discussed about the Legend of Good Woman by Geoffrey Chaucer, and now in this poem is having some reference to the Legend of Good Women. I already told you in the previous lesson that Sir Geoffrey Chaucer reversed the idea, because in Good Women he is talking about the virtues of good women or all the women, especially from the historic figures. But now in this lesson, or sorry, in this poem, what Chaucer has said, because this was written before. First, the Troilus and Cressade was written, and then the Legend of Good Women was written. In this poem, Chaucer has expressed the idea that woman is not worth relying. He has portrayed the character of women in a very bad way or in poor manner. So now, what is the story of Troilus and Cressade? First, I would request you that if you are really interested in such literary things, then first go to Google and read some of the things about Trojan War, because Trojan War has a lot to do with English literature, because all the mythical figures of Greek and Rome, these are somewhere related to these things, especially of the works of Homer and Virgil's, because they have these mythical figures. Only then we can understand these poems in a better way. Anyway, going further with the Troilus and Cressade, it is settled. This story is set with the background of Trojan War. Trojan War is happening between the city of Troy and the Greek Spartan kings. Means there are one side Greeks and on the other side there are Troys. And there is Troilus. Now, the title character of this poem, he is the youngest son of the king Priam of Troyes. So Troilus is on the Troy's side, and in the beginning he is mocking at the god of love, because he does not believe in love, so he mocks the god. By this, the god gets angry and God makes him fall in love. Eventually, he falls in love with a woman named Cressade, and she is a widow. And secondly, her father's name is Calchas, and he is a soothsayer or fortune teller. He in completely neither he belongs to the Trojans or Troyes, nor he belongs to the Greeks. It is his wish. Earlier he was staying with his daughter in the city of Troy. But what happened later? Troilus was having an affair with Cressade, and her uncle, Cressade's uncle Pandarus. He helped Troilus in a great way to win her love, in fact, to propel or to flourish their affair. They spend a lot of time with one another, and then by the time Cresade made a promise that she will return within 10 days to the prince. On the other side, Calchas, her father, decides that he will favor the Greeks, because he felt that he was betrayed by the Trojan prince. The name of the prince was Hector. Okay, that is a different story, or that is somewhere related to Trojan War, so we will not talk about this. We just believe that Calcha, first he was residing in city of Troy, then with an excuse of betrayal, he moved towards the Greeks, the Spartans. So his daughter was also with him. So now Cressade is living among the Greeks, and on the other side, Troilus was waiting for him. Her, sorry. Cressade was living in now in Greek camp, and there she met a person named Diomed, and he proposed her. First, she made some resistance, or she was not interested, but then she accepted him. And somewhere it is also said that Cressade, she accepted his proposal only because to escape the death threats, not to betray Troilus. But anyway, betrayal is a betrayal. Then in the war. Now we are brought to the scene of the war where Troilus is fighting, and a situation comes where Troilus is supposed to face the same warrior Diomed. And what Troilus saw? He saw the same girdle on his waist. On Diomed's waist, the girdle was a gift which he had given to Cresseid. It was a holy gift, something very precious. But now, seeing the same gift on the waist of Diomed, he understood everything, that she has betrayed him, and now she is in love with Diomed. And even when Troilus asked Diomed about that girdle, Diomed told him that he has got this gift or girdle from his lover Cresseid. All that really came as a severe blow to Troilus, and he felt that now there is no point in living further. He was now battling in that fight. He really fought like a great hero because he knew that he would die, and he really gave his full efforts, and eventually he died. The poet has given a great praise to Troilus because when he knew that he is betrayed by his women, and now he was so angry and he was so means with agony that he really gave everything in the war. He was eventually okay, he died in the war, and the poet says that he would go to the eighth sphere in the heaven, means that there may be some place in this heaven. So this is said by the poet. And this poem, okay, contains the matter of Rome. As we know, it's related to Trojan War, and there is a point about reference that this work is dedicated to John Gower by Geoffrey Chaucer. So Troilus and Cresseid is dedicated to John Gower. And now, before finishing this lesson, because I think we must know some of the things about Trojan War. So again, I would request you that you should go through the summary or details of the Trojan War. There are some more characters which I think that worth telling. Troilus is the prince we know, central figure, and Cresseid is a widow. King Priam, he is the father of Troilus. There are other sons of the King Priam, Hector, Prince Hector, and there is a famous Prince Paris. He is the central figure in the War of Trojan. And on the other hand, Cresseid's father is a Calchas, a fortune teller, and Diomed is a Greek warrior. Who is we can say the rival in love for Troilus. And then Pandarus is the uncle of Cresseid, and there is one more soldier named as Antenor. He is also a figure in this poem. So that's all about the Troilus and Cresseid, and I hope you have enjoyed this poem. And I would request you, if you are interested, go to Wikipedia and you can read the story in detail so that you can easily understand the things about Trojan War and this poem. So that's it for this lesson, and thanks very much for watching this lesson. Have a nice day.